I think we should start today with what a world-class player is.
What is your definition of what a world-class player is?
A world-class player is if you are the best in your position and you can get in any team.
The premise I created from the beginning, if you listen to it, you would know why Bruno is world-class. If Bruno walks into Chelsea, they make top 4 since mid-April.
Of work.
If Bruno walks into Arsenal, they win the league.
For every football player to go into the annals of history, where everybody just remembers, like, you know what, talk about Man or not, you remember that game against, like Schalke game for United, those games turn to me, just pop at you, right? You talk about Lamine Yamal, if he retired today, those Inter Milan games, those 2 games, you talk about Eden Hazard, you can pick at least 2 or 3 games, like you say, this game here, everybody stood up and admitted consensus. Can you readily call a game when you watch Gabriel? You get hold on. You can Gabriel or Saliba. Like that post and everybody agrees. Like, you know what? Say Saliba. What's the game remember about Saliba?
Any, I'll tell you from beginning. This direction you want to go will not end well.
No.
And this one, all of us will get head lost.
No.
I have an inclination where you want to go.
No,
Please don't go there.
Just listen.
Give me 5 million. You understand?
You know, the guys are like characters in a film. It's like a weekly TV show. I think the camaraderie between the guys, myself, Ini, IBK, Wale, of course, as well as Rufai, creates an interesting dynamic that I think the viewers certainly relate to.
CHP over the years has been a necessity, still is a necessity, at a time where everything feels fast and regurgitated.
Our cultural space was craving realness, heritage, and intention, and that is why I'm able to be myself on the podcast.
Oh yeah, now predict that now.
I've seen games like these.
We've been able to move with clarity to deliver something with restraint, depth, and timeless wit. And in many ways, we've been able to reset the standard to show what is possible from an African cultural and storytelling perspective.
In the first half,
I don't know the game that you watched, but in that first half, the team that looked like they were going to score the most was us.
For us, it's not punditry, it's artistry. There's a self-awareness to what we're doing. For us, we're driving our cultural nuances in every single conversation, and I think that's what we keep trying to do. THP at Season 6 is a proof that when your product is sharp and your values are intact and your timing is intentional, you have a chance of building something that is authentic.
We're playing a different game, not one based on virality or chasing the algorithm, but one built on value.
We're not looking to scale at all costs. We're building substance, and we want that to scale over time.
After 6 solid years with the guys, I realized that we are not just a sports show that's entertaining, but an entertainment show that truly knows sport. I'm sure you know that already.
He just needs more oil. I will call it down 70,000. I said, this guy, he would never make it.
But all of this means nothing if no one is ready to receive it. And that's where you, the viewers, come in.
Thank you for allowing us to play our position and allowing our work to speak for itself.
So every now and then I go somewhere to different places and someone recognizes you, and that totally humbles me because of the fantastic community we've been able to build.
All of this is not enough without you guys.
Thank you and welcome.
Welcome to Season 6.
No, somebody give me a story about him and that.
He died.
And I'm saying, what happened?
Asthma.
Somebody gave me a story about him that it was somebody from Ralph. Ralph gave me a story about Temisan, right? Yeah. It's probably not just him, but he said when he met Temisan, I think they would do this high TV audition, that kind of thing. So Ralph had gone at the time. And apparently Temisan's schooled in Uyo.
He's schooled in Uyo, right? I know that.
But when he was speaking to Ralph, he was like, where are you from? So I was like, Uyo. I was like, TV the other side, that kind of thing. So Ralph didn't take it. Ralph took it, Ralph was like, so when Ralph later found out that, you school, so you actually made that comment deliberately. Mm-hmm. That kind of thing, so since then, Ralph said, since I didn't see him the same.
He joked today, he's school in you.
Nah, it's good. Yeah. He knows. So Ralph now said, if you know that much, you go no say Uyo now.
You think I'm seriously now? Maybe he was joking.
He wasn't joking. Ralph, I said he wasn't joking. Ralph said he wasn't joking.
I'm sure he was joking. He's not silly. How can you school in? Because when I got into school, I did one stuff at High TV, and one of my lecturers sadly died this week. Who, you know, was telling me, you met Chemisan. Oh, Chemisan was here. So he was a
Check
bad
who
guy
else
here.
was for ITV this period.
So when I came back, I was still in school then. You know, when I came back, my lecturer was like, how's Chemisan? Chemisan was here, was telling me he was in school, that he was a bad guy, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's how, you know, he was telling me, that's how I knew he was school. He was a really bad guy here, you know, blah, 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 good guy.
Yeah.
What do you mean was a bad guy? Because you just said bad guy like 2-3 times, and now say good guy.
Like I said, Chemisan is a radical guy. Once you meet him, you can tell he's a radical guy, basically. He's a radical guy. Like he's a happy-go-lucky radical guy. You know, but I think one of the best things
is this something along those lines.
Let's start.
Now podcast we call record.
Let's start. All right, cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome along to our Hindsight Podcast Studios. I am UB, and so I'm doing over the metronome. Now, over the past 6 seasons of this show, we've come to realize that THP means different things to different people. To some, an impeccable football show. To others, comic relief. Others would say it's a nice boys' lounge. Hell, some people have even said it is the best show in the country. And we thank you, flatteringly so. But last Monday's post-show commentary made the case for some solid history lessons. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome the man you all know as a TikTok favorite and everyone's favorite senior man. He's a THP original. And of course, he's pretty much everybody's favorite. But to me, that's not what he is. He's pretty much my brother, and our relationship predates THP. Matter of fact, I've known this guy for more than 10 years, and I've got a huge respect for him. So when I pull on his strings, when I tug on him, when I banter him and stuff like that, you best leave it for the family because you really don't understand the context of our relationship. Never mind this guy who, of course, THP original, A&R of opportunities. One thing people don't realize is that me and Rufai lived together for 5 years in the same house. So when I go back and forth with him and we argue, we're going to have drinks in the evening, so you best stay out of it. Unfortunately, I've got golf a lot for Emeka, but I was still building that. But
at least you came to my wedding. That's something.
Yeah. That's something.
That's something. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome Emeka Nwani, Mr. Olakun Rufai, and of course the very impressive Mr. Inyoba Monday. So I've got to ask before we start the show: are we analyzing today or we're bantering?
No, we can do.
What are we? What are we doing?
A little bit of both.
We can do.
What are we doing?
Na collabo.
Let's mix it, right?
That collabo.
But Emeka, it's good to see you, man. How's it going?
No, I'm great. Always great to be back. Some great things happening. So yeah.
Yeah? Good stuff. You're in the country you've been in the country for a long time, so I imagine that you disappear for the summer, nah?
I said I had to be here after that lovely Monday episode.
Yeah.
Let me come and be in the mix of things.
It was amazing. At some point I felt like, let's settle down, let's leave it. I said, no, let me just see.
Somebody reached out to me and like, I've never seen you gone off the handle like that. I'm like, football.
It's football.
We're having a conversation on Monday with Empress, and we were talking about like how can you be a guy and not like football? Like how can you be a man?
Yeah.
Kunle was saying something. What do you do with your spare time?
Yeah.
What do you do with your spare time when you have football is such a I've never seen someone watch football. You're watching football and you are so composed. Like you can watch movies, take a drink.
Yeah, like
because it's so unpredictable.
Yeah.
You can't write scripts. I remember a commentator at the Olympics saying, he said that something happened and he said that's why live sports is better than Hollywood. Because you would never find the things you find with football, the drama, the excitement, the passion. Now, someone asked me, I said, I'm a very passionate guy. I'm a passionate football fan, very, very passionate. Like, I watch football beyond Premier League. I watch Zambian League, anything that they show that is football. Like, I'm very passionate. So, You can forgive me for getting emotional.
I think from the outside, so even just watching it, again, I think every single person that watched that episode has had an incident like that while discussing football.
Yeah, of course.
Like I was so engaged because I was in my bathroom. I didn't want to wake up It was at night. I didn't want to wake my son up.
Man, they sneak
I
off.
had my headphones in. I was like, yo, this is you know. So of course, like, you know, we're like say we're all brothers, and again, you can probe and you can, like what he said to you now, for instance, like you wouldn't have said to me, because maybe he doesn't know how I would react because he knows you, right? So as we're building a relationship, but the point is that is just football. That is football.
But
it happens.
But ultimately, the person that reached out to you, the main issue there is that he thought you were responsible. that's the main. He has always seen in your mind, such a responsible, young, no, not young, remove that one. Such a responsible, gentle.
But you know, the funny thing about speaking about young, right? He turned 40 last year, no?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, but he looks really good.
You know,
he looks really good for
like,
40.
You know, like if I wanted to act like, you know, Rufai or Wale, I would say, you know, how many years it takes on me? Like, honestly, like, you know.
What do you mean if you wanted to act like
Rufai?
Rufai?
The devil.
No, settle down.
You know that Rufai, you
want to pass.
You know that Rufai they cost probably normally, right?
What do you mean?
But
of course, you
I'm taking Rufai's place today, man.
And I carry my I won't settle the fight before later. I say no. I go carry cold water. I say
Someone say Rufai lost dressing room.
Yeah, bro, I don't love it. You lost dressing room.
I could have agreed more. Because I said, I was hosting this.
Look at this riffraff.
Rufai's captaincy. Rufai is doing like this. No one can say anything. Rufai just doing like this.
You don't bring beer cup.
I just make. Let me look at.
You would have smashed the table.
What's going? No. I'm not that kind of captain. Let you have at it. When you say that's why we win. If you don't fight, you don't win.
Yeah.
If the dressing room was in place,
exactly.
Don't say that nonsense.
No, aside from that, if they were fighting in the dressing room, they would not go and lose embarrassingly and scandalously.
No, but that's good context, and I thought it was important to create that little you know, bit of, I mean, I call it history lessons, but I've known these guys forever. You know, I've known these guys for a long time. I was watching it on TV, you know, way before I started doing TV. When I met him, was the first thing I told him. I said, I'm a big fan of your work, you know. So in that sense,
it's not that deep.
It's not like in that sense, not that deep.
You know, because I honestly feel like, even with my brothers, you know, if you have many brothers, you know, I have 5, you know, and when we're living together,
that's
you can have
testosterone problem.
Very heated conversations.
I have a lot of brothers as well.
You know, you have very heated conversations like this where things are said. You know, it comes to even shoving people. Say that happened maybe like in the afternoon. In the evening, we're strolling down the road to pick up something, laughing. You know, I always feel like maybe God has just may they not insult me, but I always feel like men just have a thicker skin to deal with things. You know
the funny thing. What I always say is that, especially with like, you know, with like, you know, sort of like family disagreements like that. If you happen to be there when it's happening, right, and you live with that memory, and let's say a couple of days after that evening, you take that memory and want to act on it as, maybe you think there's still discord. You'll be in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
Because you'll realize that, maybe you saw something happen in the morning. Evening guys are walking down the street and you go cause problem. They go join, beat you, join.
Normal.
Literally, that's how it is. That's
why that thing where Rufai say, anybody we don't see each other nakedness, come on your hand from them.
No, I don't.
If you put mouth for talk, we consent to
anything
people.
where you see, you are ignoring signs.
People we don't see each other naked. You are ignoring signs.
I think Rich, I don't know, because now man and man we they talk about.
I'm just saying, it's the same thing.
No, they watch what they talk, bro. But what I've noticed,
because we're talking about boys now. People you see each other nakedness.
You never did
what I'm saying.
Bro,
what I'm saying. That guy thinks
let's very clear.
That guy thinks he's senior man, they're responsible. That's what I'm saying.
That's very clear. You get it. You know, we've not even swam together before. I've not been in Shebo before, so.
But also, these are the issues. You be not a serious person. Because this intro we do now, you could have just picked the phone and called senior man and say, don't vex for those things.
I know.
Because now.
Why I go vex?
No, we saw the next day now.
I know now. I know. Maybe I know they explain banter. I know.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Steady on. I was there too.
It's all good. 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 I'm actually happy Emeka is on this show as well, because you know, IBK for don't find way to take turn this thing, twist down. You get, so what a great day to miss the show.
Speaking of which, right? I beg, no vex. Before we go on to this thing, there's in the name of all this saying, I caught another one a few days ago. I said I must say it on the show,
right?
Before I forget.
I just got there. I said
I must come. He said, if you hand the crown to a clown, the clown doesn't become king. The palace becomes a circus.
Yeah.
Now, this saying relates to a lot of
Anything
things.
where you like, they can do.
Now, that's all I'm going to. I'm not going to attach it to anything, but I know that I attach it to a lot of things. Before I go talk, say I'm insulting somebody.
See, that saying is one side of the coin. Let me say the other side of the coin, right?
Talk.
It is not to steal the village drum. No, no be the problem.
Oh!
Now when you
go take drum arm?
I mean, you won't sell them.
Baba, the first day we were sitting, I don't know if you were there when we finished playing football. The first day I dropped this saying, I was sitting with like older men. I'm talking 50-something-year-old men. The first day I dropped this thing, everybody said, wait. Don't worry, say this one is a fire.
You get?
So to steal village drum is not the problem. Now where you go take
You play am first.
drum? Chebi, all of us in this village.
You play am first. You get? There's a book I read. See whichever book. It's called I think it's something about the gods, right? I think it was the second book. I'm quite sure it was the second.
The gods are not to blame.
No, the gods. Something about the gods.
I think Chebi, the gods are not to blame.
No, not to blame.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. Sorry?
The gods are not to blame.
No, so I mean, I'll probably just Google it. You see, but basically, the village deity was an anaconda, is a snake, right? Some boys went and stole the snake because the snake, you know, is a village deity. So it's the white people in the community, and he was going for big money.
Okay,
so
right, Wole.
So they took it and they held it, they kept it. So the mother, one of the guy's mother she was cleaning the house. I thought it was moving under the bed. She was like, she saw the snake. She was like, you guys stole the village deity and kept it here. They had to do a lot of, appeasing and things like that. So yeah, just a small anecdote on that. Anyway, let's return to parliamentary proceedings, right? I think we should start today with what I think I found to be a misconception. I was speaking to Rufai about this, and it's a good thing Emeka is here as well, about what a world-class player is. And it surprised me a lot that, that was a very divisive point. So I wanted to start with Rufai and because I was asking, why was that so hard to understand?
Yeah.
That you can be the best in
your position
at
a particular point
in time, and it doesn't equate to being a world-class player. So, and I've said that because in this title running, right, player in question who we spoke about was, Morgales, Gabriel, right? That's how you pronounce his name, right? And I have seen other case studies where the best players in the world, the world-class players, show up when, the pressure is being cranked up. For all I care, if there was a better time to show up, was the game against Man City. I thought that the occasion played to his head.
So let me say this here. So off the gates, before anybody will get it, because I think that's what happens a lot when we try to break down topics and situations. Somebody's going to hear what you have said now, especially what you said last, and go, oh, because of that one game. So let's put a pin. It's not because of that one game. And like I was telling you, right, we have tried to define what a world-class player is on the pod multiple times. And I think we have come to a set of, maybe not a total we all agree on this, but we have tried to come to a set of, okay, yes, this factor is true, that factor is true, that factor is true. We might disagree on a few other ones. Ultimately, I believe, and something we agreed on was, it's a body of work. It is not a form thing, so it is not a temporary thing. It is not I played a good game today, or I played a couple of good games like in the course of the season.
Yeah.
Or even, it is not I had a fantastic season.
Yeah.
A good example, I don't think Cole Palmer is a world-class player.
I don't think so too.
In the Chelsea team, I think the only world-class player there is Reece James.
Reece James, yeah. That's a world-class player.
Once you write to Reece James, no other name comes on the list. Enzo has won the World Cup. Not only winning the World Cup, being the best young player at that World Cup.
I don't think he's a world-class player.
So it is a body of work.
Yeah.
It is something that you do
over a period.
Yeah. And people then say, by virtue of the work this person has done over this period, in that period, you have won titles. You have lost some. You have lost some games. You have won some. You have carried your team to the title. You have carried your team to winning games. You have played some of the most difficult games in that period. That people then arrive at the stop of, okay, this guy, it doesn't matter. This person can perform anywhere.
Different managers.
By virtue, different managers,
different
competitions, different setting, different pressure level. That is what world class is. And the thing about Gabriel Saliba is, it sounded, and I totally understand the fact that it is a polarizing conversation. How can you say these guys are not world class?
When you say that, when you admit that they are the best.
Yeah. When you say that, and not only the fact that they're best, I think they've been the best in their position for not just this season. They've been the best,
at least 2 years.
They've been the best in their position, for a number of seasons. Now, all of that said,
at least 2 years.
2 years, right? If they win this league or they win the Champions League, I take my hands out of the conversation, even though I still think it's a body of work. If they win the Champions, they win the league, okay, I step back from going and I say, okay, I think I can give it. But today, it does not sit well with me.
That they haven't won anything.
Not only that they haven't won anything, it does not sit well with me that the players that you want to hand the world best start to are world-class start to are faltering when it matters the most. That's why I said, if they go on to win this league or they win the Champions League, I take my hands on the conversation. Even though I still think it's a body of work and you might need to do it consistently. The same way I said, Enzo has won the World Cup, winning it being the young best player. I think it is not something you just do one season.
Yeah.
It is something you do. It is a body of work.
Yeah.
That's why I don't think he's a world-class player. And then I'll finish by saying the pushback on the conversation was the Bruno conversation. Now, football conversations have never been black or white. It's always been very nuanced. And that's what we do here. We don't have binary, like what happens on Twitter. If it's not cold, then it has to be hot. If it's not hot, it has to be cold. It has always been nuanced. And I tried to explain, even though we didn't have enough time that day, I tried to explain. A good example of what I'm trying to say about the Bruno pushback. When we're talking about Gerrard, the thing that tipped the Gerrard conversation to where we all then agreed and moved on was, can we say Gerrard played in a team at any point in his career at Liverpool where the team was good enough to win the league? We identified 2 seasons where they should have won the league. The team was good enough to win the league. So we're not saying that. What that means is that you are admitting that a team being good enough and playing in a team that we all agree that no, that team is not good enough to win. That team is not good enough to win. We can't then use the fact that team has not won to then say, oh, then this player too is not world class. Football conversations has always been nuanced.
Exactly.
We all know, like I told you, you admitted, if you take Bruno out of United and put him in Arsenal today, you win the title beginning or mid-April.
I agree.
So the conversation is not...
So Emeka wanted to go, yeah.
Okay.
I think, like I said, I think it's definitely a newest conversation. But for me, it just doesn't sit well with me that the 2 best defenders in the league for at least 2 seasons now are not world class because they haven't gone over the line. And they're playing in a very dependent position where, like you're saying, like they're struggling.
But that's not the reason that we have not said they're world class.
Wait, so
it's not because they haven't gone over the line. That's not the reason.
Yeah, okay, but that has to be the only reason because because what Rufai was saying, like if they win the league, then he can finally say it. But
I'm talking about myself.
Okay,
and
so
I've also said, even though I still think it's a body of work.
So for me, if they both are individually as a partnership, the 2 best, at least 2 of the 5 best in the whole world, for me, they have to be world class because you're also saying, okay, they, either they won the league or they're faltering now. Okay, so they're playing in a position, like Arsenal faltering now is more on their attack than their defense.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Can I ask you, Novex, can I ask you a question? I don't totally agree with you that Arsenal faltering now is more on their attack. Hold on. I'll let you continue.
Champions League, they're not conceding goals.
I'll let you continue.
Okay.
I'll let you continue. Cool. First of all, just to quickly push back on, it is on the attack. In the first, I think Arsenal have played about 55 games or something in all competitions this season. In about the first 40-something, they lost only 3 games.
Yes.
In the last 6, they've lost 4. The reason they've lost those 4 is because they are now conceding goals that they did not used to concede.
They haven't scored more than 1 goal.
No, but but before now, they used to win games 1-0. They used to play 0-0.
Hold on. Let's look at it. Southampton, both of them didn't play. Bournemouth, okay, they had a bad game, whatever. But you understand football. If if the attack, they're not even relieving pressure on the defense at all.
I hear
So
what
like
you're
there's
saying,
context
that
to-
the attack is
So of
faltering.
course they haven't been as good, but also the attack hasn't been as
Exactly,
good.
they haven't been as good.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
the question I was going to ask you is, what do you think a world-class player is then? Because by what you just
are
said
the
now,
best. They are the best.
No, forget them. I'm saying,
so
what
for
is
me, if
your
you're-
definition of what
for
a
me,
world-class
a
player
world-class
is?
player is if you are the best in your position and you can get in any team. They can get in any team.
Okay.
Let's say let's say Margehi and Kusanov win the league. Are they now world class? No, because
Like, for what I said, they are not.
Both exactly.
okay,
The point
okay, then who is world
Right.
class? Okay, who is world class?
But Emeka, let's
No, you mean, 1 minute, I beg, no vex.
Parliamentary
no vex.
proceedings,
No
please.
vex,
Who is
no
world
vex, no
class?
vex, no vex. With what you just said,
Yes.
with what you just said,
Yes.
with what you just said,
Yes,
with what you just said.
yes,
If Gehi,
yes.
let me see. If Gehi playing at City, you know, Gehi was one of the most sought after.
Yeah.
He's just a tad, below.
Yeah.
What's their name?
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Gabriel and Saliba. So, peradventure, Gehi plays a fantastic season where we all agree that that's the best defender in the league this season.
Yeah.
Your definition is that's a world class player.
If again one season, if Gehi had come to Man City now, he wins the league. For me, Gehi hasn't played at the level of Gabriel and Saliba for the last few years, and that's just a fact for me personally. So for me, if you can't name defenders, so if I ask you now, I ask you being on the comments, who is a world class defender today? If you can't name me players that are better than Gabriel and Saliba, then I'm sorry that they have to be world class. You might say historically that okay, when you're comparing their own world class to other teams that maybe other players that world class in the past, fair enough. Maybe the standard has dropped a bit, whatever you want to say.
That's a valid point.
So as of today, they are 100% world class defenders.
I hear what you're saying, but let me. Rufai has made a good context. I want to lay another set of. I want to lay some groundwork, right?
Yeah.
When I say players world class, the world class tag doesn't differ via 2 generations. It doesn't differ.
It does. He has to.
No. For me, it doesn't differ. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Right. I think Luka Modric is a world class player.
You don't need to think.
He's one of my frame of reference for world class players. When I think about world class player now, I think it comes to my mind like top 2. It comes to my mind. Obviously, Ronaldo, Messi, I remove them, but he comes to my mind like easily. Tell me what generation Luka Modric doesn't play in, and play at the level he's playing. His level won't drop.
But that has nothing to do with
No,
world class today.
Hold on. I'll mention 2 other players. Right, Sergio Ramos is a world class defender. Right, plays in any generation and operates at the same level.
Again, has nothing to do if you're world class today.
Hold on. 3. I'll mention Nemanja Vidic. Right, it's a world class defender. Plays in any generation at the same level.
I think he will struggle in this generation.
Still has nothing to do with if you're world class today.
I think Nemanja Vidic.
Again, you're looking,
If Gabriel is playing well, Vidic should play well.
No. Nemanja Vidic will struggle in this generation.
If Gabriel
because
is playing well,
the
my
game
bro.
is different now.
Bro,
I don't agree.
I think the game is about
relax.
The game is about running more now.
But Gabriel is
If Gabriel is playing well,
Gabriel is faster than Vidic.
but
Gabriel is faster than Vidic. He's not.
My guy, it's not about running. It's about here.
The point is, the football people play now. Teams play now. If Vidic was playing football now, he would be, because of his ability,
He will
would be-
adapt. Like if you're that good, he will adapt.
play
The best. That's what I'm
He
saying.
would play.
That has never been the
That's the point
quickest
I'm
in terms
making.
of just running.
You understand? That's the point I'm making.
No,
Not that saying John Terry will be good. today.
Exactly.
No, not John Terry.
No, John Terry was slow.
John Terry was not also
John Terry is
the
not quick.
quickest.
He's not
He wasn't.
He wasn't slow, but he wasn't the quickest.
Vidic wasn't slow either.
Yeah.
It's just my opinion. I just feel like
Of course.
the way football is now.
Hold on.
Before we miss
Exactly. Go on, move up.
before we miss that,
I was going somewhere, right? What I've successfully done, right, is mention randomly. You get 4 or 5 world
No,
class
now we will
players.
tell you if it's successful.
No, but okay, do you disagree? You get. So what I've done is, mention 4 players randomly, right? Who you agree, the levels won't drop in any generation. So for me, the world class tag comes at a premium, and when it's conferred upon you, right, it doesn't change to generations.
I'll let Inyobo go, but
that's one, right?
Okay.
When Rufai laid the context about world class players, there was an emphasis on it's not about the titles, it's about the body of work, right?
okay.
I made the case 3 months ago for a player like Bruno Fernandes. I said he walks into. I said if he wins 1 title, because the context of the United team is that everybody there wins title. So to bring him into the team, right, as the non-title winner will be the anomaly, right? So I said, look, if he wins 1 title, he goes into the starting 11
Of the all
of
time.
United's all time. That's what I said,
What about
right?
Arsenal's context?
Right. Now we're talking about Gabriel and Saliba, right?
Before they came in, how were
So
Arsenal
which no. This same context.
Yeah.
Which Arsenal defense? They walk into Arsenal defense when these guys were playing. The best Arsenal defense. These guys walking there.
No, but what does that mean that you're world class today?
No.
Emeka, I hear your own argument. That's why I'm saying I'm going to let it go before I respond to what you're saying.
So in fact, you in my opinion, when you talk
better than Kolo Toure.
Saliba is better than Kolo Toure.
Is better than Kolo Toure.
Saliba is better than Sol Campbell.
Can I land the point?
Saliba has more
This brother,
Let me
you are what?
Let me land it.
Saliba has.
Let me.
You know, we're talking.
It's not my
ability.
thing.
Let me land it. You have your.
Hold on.
Let him land.
We're talking ability. When you talk ability, you talk attributes.
I will not agree. Make you do this thing today again.
No. Hold on.
So hold on. No. Parliamentary proceedings.
What was Sol Campbell's best attribute?
Parliamentary proceedings, right?
Don't change the topic.
Okay.
Allow me to finish, right? When I confer world-class tag on a player, right, it is a premium, right? It is not commonplace.
Okay.
Gabriel and Saliba have been one of the two best centre-back pairings in the league, right? And what I also want to say is that you said, name me one world-class player now.
Yeah, I'm saying name the world-class defenders today.
Right. The fact that I don't readily give you a name doesn't mean that the fact that they are the ones that are best makes a world class.
Exactly. That's your own definition of what a world class player is, and I'm not going to.
So except you're saying that there are no world class players. So is it possible that there are no world class
right now?
players?
Rufa has been on a tirade for the last couple of weeks that there is no centre back that improves Chelsea's team.
Like
they're
all bombs.
Now,
is there no world class player today?
They're all bombs.
Right now. I told you in the group. I said Marquinhos, right, for me is maybe the closest thing to a world class centre back at the moment. Right. Look at the retirement of a lot of defenders the last few years. Van Dijk is a world class player. He's a world class player.
Does Saliba get any team in the world today?
He gets into everything.
Gets into Madrid. So that is a world class player.
No vex. Let me quickly respond to Emeka.
That is not the criteria. That's not the criteria. And I'll just finish here.
What is the criteria?
It's not the criteria because
he's looking historically.
I feel like we're shifting the goalpost.
How? From what to what? From what to what? Ini, I'll tell you from beginning. This direction you want to go will not end well.
No.
And this one, all of us will get head lost.
No.
I have an inclination where you want to go.
No.
Please don't go there.
Just listen. I banter Bruno. I banter United. I play around. But the reality is that on just ability, Bruno walks into every team in the world. On just pure ability, just to be able to improve a team. He walks into everything. I said it the other day. He walks into Arsenal team. We win the league in April because of ability. He's playing in an average United side and has shown consistency after consistency for years. That's why I can accept that Bruno is world class. Because my opinion is world class is consistency. World class is you do it season after season after season. And that's what Gabriel and Saliba has been for the last 4 years.
No. For the last 2 seasons.
Hold on. I kept saying the best for the last 2 years. No, hold on. The best defense in the land. Someone said it's the way Arsenal plays.
Because Man City won the title for 4
No, I'm not talking about how you
right.
No.
Their centre-back pairings was one of the best.
When someone made a comment that if you can put any defender in the Arsenal team and they will still have the same thing, that is not the players. That is the system. But the point is, you cannot be this consistent. You cannot be this consistent and do what you've done. Have the best defense in the land. Gabriel has scored more goals than any defender in the Premier League in the last 6 years.
The advantage is not his primary duty.
He has scored more goals than any defender in the Premier League. Consistency at both ends. Defending, scoring, contributing to the team. I keep asking one question. If you are the best in class, how are you not world class? That's the question. If you are the best in the business now, when you talk about Gabriel, if you mention Gabriel, you mention Saliba, you mention every defender, which of those defenders would go for a premium in the market now? Which defender walks into every team in the world?
Do you want me to try and respond? Do you want me to try and respond?
I beg your pardon. If I crave your indulgence, right?
Honorable colleague.
Right. I crave your indulgence. Right.
And everybody ready to speak like this, like criminal.
I want to ask, right? When we were speaking about, I lost my train of thoughts.
Drink water.
No. I was talking about Gabriel. We talked about for every football player to go into the annals of history, where everybody just remembers, like, you know what, you talk about Mano, you remember that game against, Schalke game for United. Those games come to me, just pop at you, right? You talk about Lamine Yamal. If he retired today, those Inter Milan games, those 2 games, would mean that the boy would forever continue to be. He would be one of one.
But that's
no. As if he broke his leg today, right?
God forbid.
Right, you would say that kid could have been anything he wanted to be, right?
Had a moment that you can always remember.
If you talk about,
conflicting world-class and like legendary.
Hold on. If you talk about Eden Hazard, you can pick at least 2 or 3 games that you say this game here, everybody stood up and admitted consensus. Ronaldinho. What is, if I ask you, hold on, Rudiger.
Conflicting.
Hold on, Rudiger. I don't think Rudiger is a world-class centre back. You understand? But even at that level, Rudiger has had 2 games where the dominant centre forward in the world, he put him in his pockets, right? You know Haaland, right? Can you readily call a game where you watch Gabriel? Hold on. Gabriel or Saliba. Like that pops at everybody, and everybody agrees. Like, you know what? Say Saliba. What's the game you remember about Saliba?
You are conflating 2 things.
Let me ask you.
You're speaking about the absolute best of the best ever. My point is, if you are talking about John Terry, Luka Modric, and that have 15 years of body of work, we're saying, you're talking about, are they those players? They're not those players yet, but are they world class today? And there's some players in that era that weren't the best ever, but they were world class in that time.
Let me try and respond.
Conflating legendary and world class.
Let me try and respond.
Saliba kept Mbappe quiet for 2 nights.
Let me try and respond.
Home and away last season.
Let me try and respond.
I don't think that was it.
What Rio Ferdinand game? What's Rio Ferdinand games like stand out to you as like a magical game?
Mbappe quiet for 2 nights.
Let me try and respond.
Wait, I'm asking like what? So he's saying like what game? Like Rudiger? Like what Rio Ferdinand game? Like, as a mind fan that you say that this was that
you can remember Rio Ferdinand at least now.
No. I'm talking
about games at least. My point is that you can be a world class defender, and he's saying that what magical moment did Rio Ferdinand have? But we know he was a world class player.
Let me try and respond.
And he was one of the greats.
Let me try and respond.
A body of work.
Let me try and respond.
No single world class player, right, that you can't call at least 2 games where you watch.
Okay, so what game?
You've been waiting now. You've been waiting. Let me
final was what?
So I knew I was going to say that because that is just it was a big match. It was a big match that we won.
But it's part of it.
No. I'm saying no. He said that what the team played that. Rio Ferdinand did not play that. No, Rio Ferdinand did not do anything that this is a Rio Ferdinand final. He played in a big game and they won it.
Let me try and respond.
How many defenders?
Let me try
football. How many football? He talked about performances. How many performances? I talked about Real Madrid. How many defenders in world football as we are playing will fancy going 1v1 with
Wan-Bissaka kept Mbappe quiet here. Please don't. Let's not. That was not.
It wasn't a bad day. It was Saliba keeping him quiet over 2 legs. Go and watch that game again.
You can tell me the having a bad game.
He had 1v1 with Saliba over 4 times, and Saliba won it.
Van Dijk against Messi.
No problem.
Against Messi.
No problem.
2019. Bro, he was defending 1v1 with Messi in his prime, right?
No.
You can't compare that performance to Saliba's performance. I can keep mentioning players on and on.
Senior man.
You ask for a game.
Senior man.
You ask for a game. We
Closing
give you a game.
Gentlemen, on world class.
You say you cannot compare with Van Dijk. You are just looking for things to discredit these boys.
Saliba stop.
You are just looking for something to discredit these boys.
Saliba stop.
Don't worry.
Senior man. That's why I said where you wanted to go, have an inclination, please don't go there. I think it is a tad bit. I don't want to use disrespectful. And you do this thing sometimes. We're talking about Arsenal player. We're trying and find if there's a higher logic to why this might be this or why this might be that.
But there cannot be higher logic when there is prejudice.
Who told you there's prejudice? Because they're Arsenal players, bro.
Not you.
Who told you there's prejudice?
No, you have given things. From him, it's prejudice because he said, give me a game. I give you a game.
What game?
Which game can be bigger than Real Madrid home and away?
You can't
Chelsea-
go into a conversation think that the only reason this person is talking is because they have prejudice. That conversation will not make sense.
You know why I say it's prejudice? You ask for a game, I give a game. You now say, oh, can you compare that performance to Van Dijk?
Okay, no
performance?
problem.
That's
No problem.
prejudice.
No problem. I hear you. Let's continue. Let's not scatter the show.
No, we're not scattering. No.
Saliba stopped Mbappe. I love
Over
it.
2 legs.
Yes, he did. Fantastic. I think he's a fantastic defender. Of course, he's going to have games. If he stops Mbappe in 5-10 games, good luck. I love it for him. What my definition from the beginning, and like I said, we have discussed what a world-class player is multiple times on this show. That's number one. Number two is, what Emeka is saying, right? I can allow separating the two. Because what Emeka is saying and what you're saying is basically, in this day and age, there's a different definition for what a world-class player is.
Emeka said,
From everything you have said, what you are, I don't know, maybe what you are insinuating and what I hear is,
I don't think there's a difference.
in this day and age,
I don't think there's a difference. I don't think there's a difference.
Let me finish.
I'm just clarifying my position.
Let me finish.
Okay, I didn't say that.
The reason I hear in this day and age is a different definition for a world-class player is this. When I started, we have discussed what the body of a world-class. A guy is a world-class player. What you are saying is you are removing some of the things that we used to use to call a world-class player and saying it does not matter that they don't have this.
No.
Let me finish what I'm saying now. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Something that I'm not doing.
Let me finish what I'm saying. I'm talking about what Emeka said.
Okay.
Emeka had gone and said.
You know Emeka.
Emeka had gone and said it does not matter that they've not gone over the line, that they've not won the title. It does not matter that they faltered in a few games. The most important thing is that they are the best in their position today. And that was it. That was not the definition of what a world-class player is before now.
Exactly.
For you to be a world-class player before, okay, I'll ask another question. I'll ask another question. Do you think Declan Rice is a world-class midfielder?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Do you think Declan Rice is a world-class midfielder? Okay, good. Do you think Moussa Dembele that played for Tottenham was a world-class midfielder?
No chance.
Do you think Moussa Dembele was a world-class? Is Declan Rice a better player than Moussa Dembele?
To me,
he has more facets to his game.
Is Declan Rice a better player?
He has more facets to his game than Declan.
So you see that your definition, there is no world in heaven and in earth that Declan Rice is a better player than Moussa Dembele.
Cannot lace his boots, bro. I'm sorry.
There is no world in heaven and earth
can't lace his boots.
that Declan Rice is a better player than Moussa Dembele. The same Moussa Dembele that played at his prime for Spurs.
You know the funny thing?
Now you don't think
you're comparing a right back and a winger. Dembele was an attacking player.
Let me finish. He was a midfielder. Dembele played in CM. Dembele played CM.
Apart from close control, what is Dembele better than Declan Rice?
I'm not going to go into Dembele. I just asked a question.
Apart from that,
let's leave it there. Let's let the people in the comments do justice.
Yeah, lovely.
Let's let the people in the comments do justice. The point is, the body of work of what a world-class player is supposed to be. A world-class player is not, this today, because we know if we find anybody.
We shift our small.
Wait.
Okay, please.
Wait. Because we know.
Wait. Punchline. Let me land.
Because we know if we find anybody with better pass you, so you are a world-class player. Because other people bad, no come me say you don't take this position.
Hold on.
That's what a world-class player used to be. But if you now say that in today's game, because like I said, a lot of these players, a lot of these fuckers are bombs. If you now say in today's game, because they are the best in class, they are world class, that's a different definition from the premise I created from the beginning. I will hands up on that.
Really world class before the titles.
Final thing I'm going to say on this is Arsenal finished fifth in the 2021. Fifth. The following season, Arsenal challenged for the title, fell short and became second. Do you know why Arsenal challenged for the title? One player, Saliba. One player. They didn't sign players from him. One player, Saliba. He walked into the team and made the team better. When he got injured, Arsenal's challenge was
I am agreeing with you guys now. If you say there are no good players now.
Hold on.
So because he's the best, he's
Gabriel got injured last season at a very critical period.
That was what you put to yourself for.
Hold on. What I'm telling you is that
that's the narrative.
We cannot say that Bruno has such an effect, and everybody, even a blind person, can see in this United team. And we cannot say he's world class because Bruno has done it season in, season out. We cannot say Bruno is world class and ultimately now say we need to give different rules, because the reason
We didn't give different rules.
The reason Bruno is world class is one thing. He hasn't won titles. The reason Bruno is world class is because Bruno's level, consistency, is at the same level season in, season out. That's why he's world class. It's the same thing with Gabriel and Saliba. This consistency level has been up there.
So I think sometimes you can, like, so even with Van Dijk that we mentioned, he came into that Liverpool team in January. They transformed. They didn't win immediately. They didn't win the league immediately. They didn't win the Champions League immediately. He was world class before they did that. Because he was like the impact he made on that team.
He wasn't world class.
With all due respect,
he was world class before. But if they're always going to be at a disadvantage because you're calling players after 20 years of work. I'm not
calling players after 20 years of work.
At 16, he went to the Euros. He went to the Euros at 18. He was the best player in the tournament, and at that point in time, people were already calling him world class. At that time, before he won the league, you don't need to.
Yeah, I'll give my final point.
You don't need to. Saliba is what?
Much.
Saliba is 25. Is 25 years old. If he now all of a sudden wins the league in 5 games, all of a sudden the tag changes.
That's
fine. Let me final point. One of the major reasons why you say, oh, this guy hasn't done it on this level, or this guy hasn't done it on that level, so we can't immediately say
you're the best.
One of the first reasons is me personally, on my small scale of playing football here, I had some key experiences. We've gone to national competitions where the guys that were best players in the team couldn't do it. And the reason you give a level, because when you say someone is world class, again, like I've said,
couldn't do what?
What you guys have talked about. When I don't narrow them down to what is obtainable now.
No,
I don't hands off. I don't give that one.
Yeah.
Because before now, that's not what a world-class player is.
And I said it.
You have come as a 16-year-old. I have gone and said best player. We know what the English press do. Oh, is this, is that. That doesn't mean it is right. And like I said, I don't think Cole Palmer played his first season.
Exactly.
Went into the most goals and assists in a.
Then why is Bruno
wait.
I don't get the difference.
Went into.
I believe he is, but I don't get it.
No vex. Went into the best, most goals and assists in a season in the history of Premier League. Went straight into that list playing his first season with 33.
He scored plenty penalties.
I don't think he's world class.
So where's Bruno
because
world class?
you have to consider, and the premise I created from the beginning, if you listen to me, you would know. You would know why Bruno is world class. It's simple.
Why?
There is no team now.
Body of
If
work.
Bruno walks into Chelsea, they make top 4 since mid-April.
Body of work.
If Bruno walks into Arsenal, they win the league. And I said it when we talked about Gerrard. We said, did he play in any team that was good enough to win the league? Yes, he did. That's why we call that not winning the league on him. So I don't agree with it.
Exactly.
But you're talking about a player who rarely even played in a team that could challenge for titles constantly.
Let me finish. Sorry, before you continue, let me ask you: if Gabriel walks into the Chelsea team, do they gain 9 more points or 12 more points?
I said they can get 9 more points. Doesn't mean they'll make top 4. I said they will make, if Bruno walks into
if you gain 12 more points, you're in the Champions League position.
It doesn't mean we make it now.
They don't get 9 or 12 more points. You don't solve 9 or 12 more points.
If Saliba walks into...
At the moment, we're 8 in the table. The person that...
If Saliba was in Man City, there's no title race.
If Saliba is at Man City,
Man City would have won the league.
There's no title race.
That's not true. Man City struggled the whole season. With midfielders, with defenders, they struggled the whole season.
Your hypothetical is true, but if Saliba is in Man City,
listen.
No, guys, let me come
Man City struggled the whole season with defenders, with midfielders, even with attackers. We're talking winning. I didn't say if Bruno comes, he will win the league. I didn't say that. I said if he comes, we make top 4. It's 2 different things.
So let me come in.
If Saliba walks into your team, you get into the top 4 easily.
Let me come in here, right? And where you could have hinged your arguments, right, that could have been way better, right? The better of the 2 defenders is Saliba.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, for me,
No,
yeah.
no,
I think Saliba is a better defender.
You see, when some truths are said, there is more likely than not going to be consensus. You get, because the eye doesn't like what you see, right? Does he have as much bravado as Gabriel? No.
It's more composed.
No. He doesn't have.
He doesn't have emotion. He has more emotional intelligence.
He doesn't
has
just
more
have as much
emotional
bravado.
intelligence, in my opinion.
He's not going to be the one looking for the camera after the game, but you just know that he's the better centre back of the two, right? Now, if you had hinged your argument on on William Saliba as a worker centre back, I would say if he keeps playing in teams that are competing at the top end of April, May for the next couple of years, the law of averages means he will win a couple of things that will eventually mean that his body of work, right, would cement what we're talking about.
Okay, so the body of work, Gabriel,
is not enough.
I'll give you another reason why. Bruno is world class. If Bruno did not play in that United team, some of the struggles United went through, you will be fighting relegation.
Hold on.
If the team was not good enough to win the league, Bruno is the reason United never smelled relegation.
Hold on. UB is a basketball fan. Again, there are sometimes you can see Wemby, Wembanyama. He has not won anything. He has not won anything. He's like 2-3 years in the league. He's already seen as world class, one of the best in the league. LeBron, he didn't win anything for years. He was still seen as the best. So you can be seen as the best in your time.
He was seen as the best after body of work.
I keep saying this thing. You say what I'm saying is not. I don't understand you, but I totally understand you, though. Your definition of what a world class player is different from what we're saying. Your definition of what a world class player is, for example, John Terry and you're calling best players. You are saying the guy is the best in this. So he's world class. That's not what I think a world class player is.
That's your opinion now, and your opinion.
No, and like I said, we've talked about what a world class player is multiple times. Now you are the one that wants to change the goal because your players are involved.
So my only a world class player is whoever is. If you are the best in your time, I don't need you to win multiple titles at that time. If you are the best. John Terry, for me, Rio Ferdinand was a world class player before he won the 2006 title.
So basically, Dan Drinkwater was a world class player.
No, he's not the best. He wasn't the best over years. He wasn't. Like you said, eye test.
That year,
he wasn't the best.
He wasn't the best.
He wasn't the best.
He wasn't the best.
There was not one central midfielder in the Premier League.
He was not the best.
There was one.
He was not the best.
N'Golo Kante.
He was not the best.
Even in his season, N'Golo Kante was better than him.
He was not the best.
Even in his
I'm performing for
N'Golo
one.
Kante was better than him.
Just like saying Igor Thiago is a world class player because he has performed for 1 year. No.
But that's exactly what we're telling you. That's exactly the premise I created.
He's not the best.
The fact that he has played well in 2 seasons. Gabriel and Saliba, they've had heads and shoulders. Bros, no vex. Gabriel and Saliba. You don't talk 2020, 2021.
You can agree to disagree.
You don't talk 2020, 2021. You don't talk some other season. But the time where everybody feel agree say that they heads and shoulder above everyone has been 2 seasons.
Let's leave it.
So you can't then tell me that those 2 seasons is the reason why they are world best players.
They've kept more clean sheets.
World class players.
Yes. I have to veto you guys, right? You guys let us know what a world class player is, right?
You will say that Maguire is better than Konate.
Anyway, he is for sure.
Maguire is better than Konate.
Maguire, I don't watch this season. I didn't agree with you before now, but now I want to. I say, what's this?
This season. So Konate was last season.
Let's talk about this title race, right? And in the aftermath of the Man City game, I've seen different iterations of potential paths to victory for Arsenal, right? And I don't have a problem with it. My disagreement with the various parts is that before the game, if you had flipped the script and said, you know what, even if you won the game, those same paths would be Man City's points. You get the popular discourse would have been no. Once you win that game, you win the title. Because what I heard Arsenal fans say is if we win that game, that is the title. Right? Now they've lost that game. I've not seen the same argument hold on the other side where people just agree, you know what, Man City are going to win the title because they won the game. So now I've seen the next 5 games, of course, Man City play Crystal Palace, they play Aston Villa, they play Brentford,
Everton.
Right. Suddenly I've seen Man City have the tougher fixtures, and that's one of the things I was talking to you about. But I'm thinking, what makes it tough? Like what is the tougher game in those fixtures than the game they just played last weekend?
On paper.
That's what I'm saying. Like
on paper, it's tougher.
Is the Crystal Palace game, right? It's tougher fixture than the Arsenal game.
It's not a tough fixture, but people give context to things, and which is what I was doing on Monday. I didn't even think that they will go in. I didn't watch the Manchester game yesterday.
Who do you think?
Hold on.
Let me speak. Who do you think will win 15 points?
No, hold on. I didn't think Burnley was going to be an issue, even when I felt like Burnley had something to play for. They needed a point to keep their faint hope of staying in the league. I didn't think it was, because I thought that all my prayers was don't lose 5-0. Because I thought that with the energy City had, they can easily go there and wall up Burnley. And they scored in the 5th minute of the game, haven't managed to do that. Now, that's Burnley. Burnley had faint hopes of staying in the league. Everton at home, they have a realistic chance of making Europe. That's why it's a tough fixture. Bournemouth have a realistic chance of making Europe.
Arsenal had a realistic chance.
That's a tough fixture. Bournemouth have lost only one game this year. It is a very tough fixture. Last home game of the season, when you consider that's why they say it's a tough fixture. You play Brentford. Brentford are in the same situation with these two I've mentioned. They need to get into Europe. So these games are tougher on paper. Obviously, you can get on the pitch and Man City just blitz them. But we're saying on paper, it is a difficult fixture. Arsenal play Newcastle this weekend. Newcastle are done. There's no chance. They play Fulham.
So suddenly.
Hold on. They play Fulham.
Suddenly.
Fulham have nothing to play for. That's why they say on paper.
So Newcastle not going to play for pride or anything like that?
No. I'm saying. So West Ham have something to play for. Then Burnley. Then Crystal Palace. That's why they say on paper, City have 4 teams who realistically have targets to meet this season. Arsenal have 1. That's why they say on paper. But football is not played on paper. Football is not played on paper, so we understand it. So when we sit here and analyze, what we're saying is there's a high chance that you drop points in this stadium or that stadium, because City have not beaten Brighton this season, no man away. They drop points against Nottingham Forest, who were in the bottom 3 at home. So you cannot all of a sudden just wake up and say, oh, the Premier League is so bad that City will go. They went to Burnley and struggled.
I saw his stats. I saw his stats. I don't have the numbers correct, but it was that I think since the year 2000 or something like that, Arsenal have been top of the table. Man City have been top of the table for 1,000 something days. Arsenal have been for 900 something days, right? And more so in April, right? There is something that happens where there's just a change of guard.
So my own is
my overriding feeling in a title race is that yes, the games are significant, but it is always about what you do here, right?
I agree.
That's my feeling. The games you play Newcastle or you play Arsenal. I don't think it makes much difference if the team that is locked into the title do their job. Because the reason they are top of the table at that point in time is that they are the best or one of the 2 best teams in the country. So if they do their job, they are going to more likely beat. The question I'm asking is, if Man City drop the points, will Arsenal do the job? Can you say now, right, that Arsenal will win 15 points?
This is me being an Arsenal fan. I want Arsenal to win 15 points. With the way they've played over the last month or so, I'm not confident they can get it. And this is me.
That's my argument.
I'm not confident, but I'm just saying that the results on paper, the fixtures on paper
I hear.
look like.
Let's say Man City drop 3 points, right? I don't know that Arsenal would 15 points. I don't know that.
Of course, you are right. Games look more difficult. Everton away is a crazy game, especially with how Everton has been playing. The same goes for Bournemouth. Fantastic. However, the reason I made the comment I made before the City game is simple. The way Arsenal are playing now, and you see, there's something about
they play differently on Sunday, so
that's why I'm about to. As a matter of fact, I should be worried because it's true. Because you see, when you play for a top club, you go and play a big game. Even scratch playing for a top club, you play for any team, you go and play a big game. It is the easiest to get motivated.
I agree. The
easiest.
It is.
To get motivated for.
Man United.
I'm playing against Haaland today.
Yeah,
like what
agree.
Gabriel did, for example.
I
You could
agree.
tell that Gabriel that day he felt like for year today. And that's what ultimately cost him. But
I
it
agree.
is the easiest to get motivated for. Once you are done with City, move on. You're going to another game now where teams will come and play, say, this we don't get waiting, they follow this one fight. We'll just block posts. You know, you're going to play games that come with different dynamics, right? And the problem has always been, like Rodri said in that short interview,
He's a very
when you are in a running, no, I was always going to go there. When you are in a running,
comments.
no,
He's very
that interview
when
that
he won
when he won the...
He's a very stupid person.
He's
That
brother,
mentality, you
brother,
don't have it against Real
brother,
Madrid.
he's, brother, he's absolutely right.
He's not
What is
only
it?
right.
It is here. He said it's not about.
Bruku that said that. He said that Arsenal came to look for draw. Wait.
He said about here.
Senior man. Now me bring the video up.
That's what I was saying just now.
Now me bring the video up.
You see this nonsense that
Make I talk now.
that thing vexed me till today.
Let me
That
tell you what
that
Rodri
nonsense
said.
he said.
Let me tell you what Rodri said.
We came
But
to
you-
play
but
for
nobody
draw,
really talk
but we
now.
had the best chances in the
No
game.
vex, no
How
vex.
stupid can you be?
No vex, no vex.
We're
That's
supposed to
Rodri
win the
said-
game.
That's a Ballon d'Or winner.
Rodri, you Jonathan,
Later we talked about Ballon d'Or.
Rodri said
will return
we
them.
could see it in their eyes. They didn't come here to beat us. They were okay with the draw.
But yeah.
My brother.
But do you want me that's way they always talk. Do you want me to take your opinion over Rodri?
No,
Shebi,
that is playing. That is on the pitch.
Senior man, I hear all your feelings.
That-
Senior man,
you
I hear
want
all your
your
senior
opinion.
man. I hear all your feelings. You had the better chance. You had the. I hear all of those
I had
feelings.
the better chance. I
vex.
should have won that game.
No
He
vex.
say
No
we
vex.
came to defend.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry, sir. No vex. You had the better chance. The better chances. I hear it, right? On Sunday too, you claim that you had a lot of chances you could have scored. But one moment, the goal Haaland scored. If you swap it around, they blame Kai Havertz. Forget Kai Havertz. You swap it, that same chance Haaland scored. Swap it around. Which Arsenal player are you putting behind that ball that you are saying 100% if he was the one there, the same way Haaland scored it, he would have scored
We
it?
don't have a player as good as Haaland now.
My brother,
We don't have a player as good
that's
as
the whole
Haaland.
point.
You know,
That's what I've been saying all
That's the
season
whole
now.
point.
You know,
Because
but we
guess what?
only-
Guess what? Guess
But
what?
people say you're best in the land.
The reason Haaland scored the goal, exactly. The reason Haaland scored the goal is not just because of he's the best. Yes, we know he's fantastic goal scorer, but he's been having goal droughts. But like Rodri said, it is here.
I didn't even see this comment before I made the comment about
here.
when you're in a running. It's here. It's not about the team you're playing. It's here.
The example I made. Back in the day, we used to go and play national.
James Tarkowski.
Back in the day, we used to go and play national competitions at
something about this life.
Kirikiri town.
James Tarkowski.
We had the captain of the team when we were playing local competitions. It was our best player. When we went to Kirikiri town, now this was a national competition. We had teams from everywhere. Anambra, Ekiti, playing. We had not up to 500 people in the stands. While we were playing local competitions, the people that were in the stands were people that we all know. Now, we have
They
people,
don't go.
we're in Kirikiri town, we get men, we don't watch different kind of football. They don't know anybody. If you play now, they insult anybody. My guy couldn't control the ball. The reason people talk about when you play at this level, I promise you it is different. It doesn't matter how good you are. If you have not played at some certain levels, wait and play there first.
And by the way, I just want to take everybody's general opinion. Make us with you, right? What do you think with the amount of detail and awareness, media awareness players have now with media training and all that stuff? Do you think Declan Rice was being performed? Like, was he thinking he was performing?
No, in that moment, I don't think so. I think he looked genuine. Like he looked like he was really down. I think he was just trying to ginger the guys up because all the narrative was
That's
like,
my
if you
captain.
lose that game,
No,
it's
that
done.
nonsense you're
So
giving
like, I
Odegaard
think in
to
that
win.
moment, he was just like, he was being himself. Like you could tell he almost looked defeated himself. But I think he was just trying to G up Odegaard, who might have needed something.
I won't think that. I won't think that.
Because he's not been very boisterous. Even like as the running has been going, he's not been the most like boisterous. Like you can see like he's trying to instill confidence, but he's not. He doesn't come across as that vocal or very. He doesn't come across as too overconfident. I think in that moment he was just trying to at least like some kind of.
You've been on serious. The reason I've been on serious.
Let me come in here.
I think it would even be very cynical to think that he was being performative that moment.
Yeah, of course.
Because the whistle just, the level of adrenaline running through your body. The whistle just went like end of the game, and it's like it's not done. Of course, there are a lot of cameras.
Odegaard. If you see a big picture of it, Odegaard's head was down.
Yes.
Odegaard's head was down.
So he was trying to like, you know what?
He's not.
But I think in this conversation, like
Odegaard way as a captain, Odegaard way this thing that Declan Rice did. Now Odegaard supposed to do.
I don't tell. I say Odegaard not supposed to do. Captain. Now I say I decrease.
He's the one who should be picking the players up. Say, you know what? Don't worry.
I think in this conversation, the question now is about City. Like, are this City team that you have seen? Because yes, like you said, the point you made about Arsenal being able to ginger and performance because it's City. The same goes for City. Because if you know, before the Arsenal Carabao, the Liverpool, City were dropping a lot of points in the league. They didn't just drop points to West Ham when they needed to win.
Yeah.
So like, I agree with 100% agree that if you are going to back anyone, like you know City when that time comes because they've proven it.
Yeah.
But is this the same City? Because they've not gone on many runs. I was looking at their stats this season. They haven't gone on many long Premier League runs. And they'll have to win like 8 games in a row or 7 games in a row to win the league.
I totally agree with you. The only reason I look at City now, like I said in the last episode, that Carabao Cup game really shocked me. That's number one. Then they went and played Liverpool and then scored 4. It wasn't the fact that they just scored 4 or they did. And against Arsenal on Sunday, they did the same thing. It is the ability to, it doesn't work sometimes. They play some games and it doesn't work out. But I feel like under intense pressure,
yes, they're definitely
the ability,
more reliable.
They slow the game down and they start playing it little by little. They just trust little by little.
I hear what you're saying.
You can't buy that. No matter what.
I hear what you're saying. I don't know if you're 100% spot on, but I think you're quite right. Because for me, the difference in the two teams now, right? Because of what Emeka said, the two teams, especially City, have shown that they have been almost allergic to taking the advantage when it's been like, take it. You know, so you're watching the game, you're like, okay, that's City will do it now. And you go back, you're like, they didn't do it. I think the difference in the running, right, is the guy that says, I've gone here before. I know how. I know.
Yeah,
everybody follow me. Everybody sit down. Somebody talks. I'm the one. Follow me. Right.
The captain of the team, Bernard Silva, and the typifies it.
The captain of the team, but the leader of the organization.
Yeah,
that's Pep Guardiola. Right. So I've seen him in interviews now, and I saw him sitting like this. In the other interview, he said, the Carabao thing, I loved it. Right. Now I could be reading too much, right? But the guy is saying he's like, no, I see what he's doing there. You get. But it doesn't like, but we know, but we know what we're doing.
Pep does that.
Yeah,
when you guys are like he's now almost analyzing the other team. He's not even just focused on like he's confident enough.
I mean, he's playing mind games. You guys don't realize what's happening. This is the driver's seat.
Micah Richards said something, which is, so.
But they say Rodri said something that you discard that.
People say, people are being overly critical of Arteta. I don't think so. I said at the start of the season, I still remember that, after, a game, I think it was Nottingham Forest, very early on in the season, I said, the club have gone and given you tools to be able to get over the finish line. If you do not get over the finish line, you get fired. More so,
be careful what you wish for.
More so, you've built a team over the years, and I said it, this is the first time Arsenal have a team that look like can genuinely sustain a title challenge.
Yeah.
This is the first time. If you cannot get over the line, you've got to go. And where Arsenal are now, are a function of the manager almost instilling fear into the team, because when you look at the players, the Carabao Cup final was different. Too many injuries. I can't really fault him because if you don't have Eze, you don't have Odegaard, you don't have Timber.
He had Eze on Sunday, took him off.
No.
When he had to score a goal.
If you don't have those 3 players in a cup final, you've almost crumbled the core of your team, because Timber gives you a lot more base on that right back where he stops. No, hold on. So the point is, I feel like Arteta has deflated the energy the team had early on in the season by going to games and, let's hold what we have. That point he dropped at Wolves was scandalous.
It was.
Hold that thought. And I just remember the Declan Rice thing, and I remember I didn't wrap it up. What I always say with players is, with the amount of media training and the media awareness that players have, players are the first to, they want to see something, you see them like this. Right. You want to see something, you see them like this. They want to tell their teammates something in the heat of the moment, So it just...
That's in-game.
You be steady on.
Even
after the game, they do it. They cover their mouth.
Most times in-game.
It just baffles me. No, I'm not saying...
No, go.
But that's actually very cynical.
Look.
That's what I said.
I think Declan is a player who, honestly, he's one of the most honest players in the game now. right? In terms of like what he gives you.
No, don't patronize us.
No, he gives you what he gives you, right? I don't think the guy is what if built him into, right? It's not who he is. I'm sorry, right? The narrative that's been built around Declan is that he is the best player in the team. He's not the best player in the team.
No, he's not.
You understand?
So,
and I said this at the time, right? He's not the best player in the team. Now, for players like that, you want them to be able to do their job without any encumbrance. You get what they've done to Declan, and it's not like they've done anything. What they built him up into is that they put more pressure, right, on him.
On him, yeah.
Right. And it's almost like I need to be the one to give an extra. I was watching Rocky. Rocky said he's a great player, but he's not the guy that's so good. He's not the guy that's so good.
You are right in the sense that, for example, in the build up to that game, I saw Gary Neville talking about, is this game you need him to stand up and take? I'm like, brother, shut the fuck up. What are you on about? You're just playing a game. He's playing in a team. He's one of the most important players. Why do you have to go and then go, this is the game. This is the sort of game that you think you should stand up. To be Gerrard or to be Lampard or to be... No. Let the boy play.
Remember what I said a few weeks ago? I said, I think people just get... Obviously, the boy has, transformed into what he is now.
A very good central midfield player.
That horse that he is in the middle, he runs a lot. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, this boy was a central defender.
He played professional football.
No.
6 years ago.
Central defender. And he made his debut as a central defender. That's where he wanted to play. Few years later, they moved him into a defensive midfield position. Few years after that, he's been moved into a number 8 position.
Wrong profiling.
So that boy has struggled with multiple personalities.
You're right. Yes.
Has struggled with multiple personalities. So it is difficult to be able to gain the level of consistency he's done. That's why they give him a lot of credit. Because to move positions like that in the space of 7 years.
Improvements, you can see them.
For a young player to move positions is not a problem.
No.
How does it come right?
No, the point is,
how does it come right now?
Into the team,
hold on now. How does it come right now? 24 now. Right?
That's not even the reason why they give me a lot of credit.
I know.
That's the reason you give me a lot of credit, and I totally agree with you.
Relax.
You see those other ones? It's because it's
like
English.
25
That's why they say all this nonsense. You need to allow the boy just go in and do the job that he knows how to do.
27. It was only 6 years ago, right? That means he was 21, right? If you're not Lamine Yamal, a lot of players are finding themselves at 20 and 21,
yeah,
right?
That's true.
A lot of players say,
different positions.
So I don't.
Especially under 18, even under 21.
I've heard him say a lot. You understand? This is. It's almost like a background for his argument.
How many 21-year-olds are playing centre backs regularly at their clubs?
Centre backs regularly as a first team.
Euro is playing regularly at United.
Because
Lenny Euro is playing at United as centre back.
You can play right back.
Senior man, I hear your argument.
Centre back, 21 years old.
The argument for us is because
every
every season you can see clear improvement. So he has improved the set pieces.
Yeah, because he's fundamentally a very good player.
But I do agree that I do think he's been misprofiled. Like I don't think because this number 8 position, like they're going to expect goals.
You know another reason why I
but he can't play that 6 in an Arteta team because of what Arteta.
You know another reason why I don't really buy into the way he reacted at the game. Saying
no. I'm not trying.
No, I know. Settle down.
But I'll just question.
However,
one of the that's why you get paid the top.
One of the reasons I disagree is back in the day,
these idiots.
Back in the day where you had all our money, the older players. There was no emphasis on you should look like this to the media. So those players could express themselves. So I remember when Chelsea would play at the start of the game, when we need to take our positions, everybody goes to each other, shake each other, bump chest to chest.
Just to bring
you do that now, people say, he's trying to he play for the camera. That's why I don't like to talk about those things, he's playing for the camera, because players need to be able to do that if that's what works for them. Because players before now used to be able to do it. So because we have now created an ecosystem now, there's a lot of cameras, there's how he must look when he goes out after the game, there's how he must position. It now feels like if a player tries to do something, he's playing for the camera. I don't like to talk because the football itself requires you to psych yourself up. However way.
True. I'll give a final thought. We'll talk about Chelsea and I'll wrap it up, right? And this is probably the last thing I'll say about Arteta. I think I do think, right, in spite of everything, that there is still a chance Arsenal win the title. As everybody, yeah. Big chance, actually. Big chance. But What I'd say is, if he's in the job going forward, is Arteta would need to relinquish some powers in the team.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. The reason the team has found itself, I think this is a good title charge, but I think this is the least impressive Arsenal team in the last 4 years.
Least impressive team.
Yeah.
Last year with the injuries, but maybe with
I
the
don't
full
know.
team,
Yeah.
maybe this year.
No, I'll tell you. No,
In the
last
face
year.
of a game, I agree.
No.
But as a team, totally.
No, in the team. So the challenge for title.
No, so last year
So
was
how many title challenges now?
So last year, I don't. You really
4.
count
This is
it.
the 4th one.
I mean, last year you really count because they were quite far behind when you had injuries. Maybe
Yeah.
Right. So don't count.
let's say let's
not count last year. Yeah.
let's
So let's count 3. Right. I think the other 2 title challenges are better than this one.
I agree.
Yeah, they
Those
were.
teams are more commanding than this team. Right.
Yeah.
I'll put my money. If I went to watch a game and say, you know what, I think those teams in this game, they probably beat Man City in this game. Those teams.
Wait. Are we saying last year team?
No,
We removed your last year's
because
team.
they had injuries.
They had-
So we're going.
So when they got
years
when they
ago.
lost the league on the last day.
Exactly.
So I know the one when they lost the league on the last
day.
day, 89 points or whatever. That one, the first one, that's when everyone was saying they bottled when they were playing beautiful football.
Well, that one was the team you had in
So I don't know. I don't
agree that that's a better team than this one.
I think that those teams
They played better football.
they play.
that's why I said
If I were
in
going to
face
go
of
into a
the
game
game.
and
Yeah.
say, you know what, if we're going to 2 of us throw the kitchen sink in, I think that team, I back that team to score more goals and win more matches than this team, right?
Just consider a few more.
Just consider a few more.
Zinchenko.
Now, I think that over the years,
Shocker.
what has happened with Arteta is that they've given him the keys to the city, and rightly so, you need to give the manager the keys to the city. But I think at some point you have to not take the carpet for under him. He has built the team so much that there is no other voice in the team that can create any significant impact in the team. Such that his own shadow is literally what the team is. Where Arteta is also in some ways a bit traumatized from not winning the title.
For sure.
You get, and whether he says it or not, he transmits to the team.
Yeah,
You understand?
definitely.
And he transmits to the team not just by the selection he makes.
it does.
And because every single player in that team came through him and came at a young age. None of them, whatever they have, whatever bravado they have, they did
it doesn't seem to him. They can't do it with him.
They can't do it with him.
Yeah.
When Liverpool won the title, right? You went and brought in Van Dijk as a, he wasn't a country to war because he wasn't a workhouse player, but he came in with a different voice. Like, I've come in here because you guys think I'm the best defender, right? So if I tell you move 2 yards forward, fuck what the manager says, move 2 yards forward.
I said on his debut,
Right.
I will never forget
Move 2
it.
yards forward.
He made his debut against Everton in the cup game, right? I will never forget it.
Exactly, right.
Like, I will never forget it. He was inside the box. James Milner. There are players you don't touch,
don't
because
touch
of
them.
experience. James Milner was on the left-hand side, going up with a player and they tried to cross the ball and James Milner allowed the cross. I still remember. He said, James, stop the way he yelled at him.
Yeah.
From day one.
So
it's a good point.
So you see, I think that if he stays next season, somebody has got to go and say, you know what, we're going to go and bring in if you can afford it, a Bruno type player that's when the game has gone to a proper knot, right? He looks at his touchline and sees the manager and says, to hell with this is what we are going to do.
That was meant to be Eze now.
He took him off. I was so shocked. I'm like, why did you take this brother off?
You understand?
You see the thing you be just saying.
Because
with Bruno, I've seen Bruno, and sometimes, because Bruno does a lot of,
Let's not use Bruno. Let's use Dembele, Ousmane Dembele. Wait, sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
Ousmane Dembele and Luis Enrique have clashed this season a lot.
Yeah,
right?
they have a lot.
You know why I keep playing him? Because he saved his ass so many times, bro.
Giancarlo Ramos.
Luis Enrique is a control freak to the detail, right? I remember Ousmane Dembele saying something in the presser.
Ronaldo.
And Luis Enrique came out the next time. He could have said what he said was simple. Was like, we weren't running. He was like, no. Even if we weren't running, you're not the one to say it. I'm the one in charge. I'm the one who's going to say it, right? He played in the next game. That's not Luis Enrique. Enrique will literally say, what? I want to make my point.
He's
right?
out, yes.
But because right, that when we do all these tactics, right, and we go and arrive on the match day, and the other team are stretching us like mad, Ousmane is going to be the guy who's going to cut left, cut right again, and shoot right instead of doing the normal thing. That is why you need players in the team, right?
You know my ultimate belief.
Until Arteta starts signing players that cannot question just a little bit of authority. I was watching this Evra Ferdinand thing. I think Evra said the story. He said, Rooney was asking, he said, you don't look great, you're moody. He said, is it my birthday? Why am I? The manager told him he's not going to play a game, right? He told Botner, who was the player we just got in, Botner was going to play. He told the coach, he told Ferguson, said, Sir Alex, I am going to play. I don't care what's going to happen, right? And Alex had already told Botner that Botner was going to play. So Evra eventually, so when the team, so he didn't talk to Ferguson again. When the team sheet came on, Evra was playing, right? So Evra went and played the game, said he smashed this ball, they played 4-0. Ferguson came out, so he now went and told Botner, I'm sorry, I'm the reason you didn't play. Because I know the manager told you were going to play, but I'm the reason I said, but you can play the Carabao Cup, whatever it is, right? Men.
True story.
After the game, Ferguson now called him and told him, you're one fucking lucky boy. You played well. I think he assisted the goal. Because if you didn't play well,
you're fucked.
You and me don't enter one leg of trouser.
You're fucked.
You understand?
My ultimate
now, what I'm trying to tell you is that there is a little, Ferguson is ultimate authority in the team, but just a little room.
Just a little room.
He signs those kind
for
of
people
players.
You know my ultimate believer. You know my ultimate believer. You are the coach. You have a fantastic approach, strategy, idea. But I promise you don't see the game like the player on the field.
Yeah.
You absolutely. I've always said this thing. Even those of us who are watching the game on TV, I swear to God, you have no idea the angles you are seeing.
Yep.
The guy that's on the field, that ball where you see on TV, where you feel like, that ball was so close to that guy, why ain't the play and score?
I promise you.
If you were on the field, you see how many yards they between him and that ball.
Yeah.
One former French Man United player said that we used to fear Sir Alex Ferguson in the dressing room. But we feared Roy Keane more on the pitch.
So if you had,
more than we feared him in the dressing room. He said because on the pitch, like I always felt like Roy Keane was standing in one place, watching everybody. Because he would tell you, you didn't do this, and then turn and tell the next person, you didn't do that. Like he was everyone on the pitch.
So you can't see the game like the players. So in that, just because of that, you have to allow the players to. It's a talent they have. Beyond all this training, it's a talent they have. Allow the talent. On Sunday when we're playing. I was having a shocking game. Right?
Scored the winning goal.
Bad game. Yeah, scored the winning goal. You see, these are the issues. These are the things we always say. I was having a bad game. But I knew.
When you say you're having a bad game, what do you mean?
I was misplacing passes. I did something a day before. I was on top of something. so fair. But you see, I was having a bad game. I was misplacing.
Every guy look at him, man. What a nuisance. What a nuisance, man.
I don't say this one go don't happy now. Now I give up. I don't say it go don't happy. So I was misplacing passes here and there. But I knew there's some basic things we're playing. Shiju passed the ball back to the goalkeeper. I tell Shiju, Shiju, move just 2 steps back so the goalkeeper can see you. Line of pass and pass because there's somebody there that's trying to tackle. So you say, no, now the keeper can see me here and pass. I say, bros, there's somebody trying to mark. Just take 2 steps backward. You have a direct passing lane with the goalkeeper. So you say, no, you can find me. I stop talking.
If you know Sabi Mati, you know if you Sabi play ball.
No.
Exactly. So that's final thought on Arsenal, right? Let's talk about Chelsea as we wrap the show up, right? I was making a note. I'm just going to have to reference it a little. And honestly, I was making the notes for the podcast in the hopes that Rosenior would be in the job when we film. Wale messages me and says
a club statement has been made. I saw that link.
It's the funniest thing. See, that club statement is one of the. I think the Louvre has been trending this week, right? But if there's anything that should be in a football museum, they should print that club statement and hang it up there. Because whoever started that thing, right?
If anybody was at Chelsea, don't use that pass.
Whoever started that thing, I know it's Chelsea that made it famous.
Club statement.
Club statements.
Madrid too, that's Comunicado Oficial.
Comunicado Oficial.
See what you want to say, though? So I was making a note, and one of the things I put down, I'm just gonna is I wrote this. I saw the stats. Say Chelsea have been outrun by all 34 teams they played against right this season.
Wow.
Winless. So Chelsea have been on their worst run of form 114 years. I find that like, catch me. Because I thought Mauricio Sarri had one terrible run with Chelsea, right? I saw a stat where they said, he won his couple of first matches, but they haven't won the last one. They haven't won in last
5 games, lost all 5.
Something like that. And I was just thinking, I go back to the model of when he was hired, and I made the point. I said, look, I think the appointments is not my favorite appointment, things like that. But the model that the club have chosen to run on, when we talk about Arsenal, and as neutrals, we make some observations about Arsenal, and Arsenal fans disagree vehemently, rightly so, because this football thing, you defend your club, that kind of thing, it's just natural. Some neutrals also made the same observations about Chelsea as well, and said, what we see from the Chelsea strategy is most likely not going to work. It was said with Amorim as well at United. Some neutrals stood back and said, this system, right, the merits look very good, but it might not work, right? There's something they see that you, because you're invested in it, probably don't see. And what am I saying? The choice to go with the young player model. And back in the day, people say, there was a famous quote say, you don't win anything with kids. And it was proven almost wrong immediately because, United went and won things with kids. And they said, what, if that was the case, then you could win things with kids, why can't you do it now? And I was thinking the distinction is that the kids of then are men now. The kids, the 19-year-old postcodes are 26-year-olds now.
And they had men around them. So, they're not kids then are not kids now. I was watching the David Beckham, Gary Neville, because this share a room or sometimes, at United. And I remember Gary Neville was saying how he will be telling Beckham, you're going to get in trouble with the boss for this. You can't travel this week. The responsibility at that age, they were still kids, but it was just like, this is how we train. In fact, there was a point where the Neville brothers in England camp were like, they were robots. People hated them because they always do their training. They go and eat, they come back. These were kids. When you choose to adopt a model, right, of signing young talents, kids, especially not even from England, coming from other countries and trying to settle in, I think you have failed on arrival. In 2026, you failed on arrival. Because the difference with the team now, and I see Chelsea and a lot of other teams in this run, is there's just no leadership in the team. I was watching the goals that led to Rosenior sack, the game against Newcastle. How is it possible that they passed the ball from one pass from central back to the midfield and a pass going through the middle, and nobody was organizing the defense and saying, they are building up. This is where we have to be, right? And there are other examples like that. So in my opinion, Rosenior, he's got his paycheck and everything like that. Good luck to him. But you see, if the new owners, the same guys, hire a new manager, say Jose Mourinho, and they don't immediately change that model where they stop signing kits, you have to augment the kits with something else, and you stop handing out those contracts that guarantee a player's paycheck for 7 years. And they know that, come hell or high water,
I will collect my
life is good, right? Chelsea run the risk of what happened to Tottenham. I promise you. I was thinking about it. I was like, Chelsea are one of the clubs that you watch and you're like, they're proper. They came and disrupted the entire ecosystem. I'm telling you, they run the risk of Tottenham because I don't know if you guys.
The way I think if they had stayed with Rosenior, which but if they had stayed with him, to continue the same philosophy, like they legit, because even though they're having some financial issues, they legit could really, really fall down very, very fast because it's not like you can sign one of the best in class to come and help. So you can't go and sign a Vinny because you have to sign someone that can only accept 120, 150K. They can't be above a certain age. So I think it's a very dangerous one. And the point you made about the kids, I think we can all agree that yes, kids then were a bit more mature, but the reality is a lot of those United boys were still fools. Like Giggs would be partying. They loved the good life. You think about the Liverpool team, they also always out drinking and things like that. But they had men and leaders around them. So if this Chelsea team now, you come in, you're Garnacho, who are you really looking at? Like Rhys James is your leader, but he's still he's not that kind of person. So I feel like if they need to balance it out, and it looks like your owners are now trying to augment it a bit.
What I would say is like I've always said, I don't see the players though. I don't see the experience, and that's why I separated it one time, I think when you and I had a
The
virtual,
question I have to ask yourself is where are other clubs seeing the players signing?
there are not a lot of them too at other clubs. That's why I keep using the example.
But Chelsea's model was always you want the player, we want the player, we get the player.
So,
That was Chelsea's model.
Chelsea
was famed
So
for.
let's understand something.
There's one key player in the market, right?
Yes.
And 3 of us are going for it. So at the point, Chelsea would just announce the player.
Like
Just hold it there.
That's what Chelsea were doing.
Just hold it there first.
Like
William,
Maguire.
Hazard,
Maguire has been.
announced.
don't announce the player.
Bros, just hold it there first.
So like
First of all,
Maguire, Semenyo, like you could have gone
let
for
me
them.
let me
Chelsea
finish.
players.
Let me finish. First of all, Chelsea will never be able to do that again for a number of reasons. That's why I said on that
How
virtual
much it
episode.
takes time, Semenyo?
Don't forget
and
those
Gay.
ones. But you're not talking about players like Maguire.
No. First of all, that's what I'm saying.
But you
Chelsea,
can't get Maguire.
First of all, Maguire has history with Chelsea. He was never going to come to Chelsea anyway, except maybe we'll go and pay him some level of amount. Maybe he changes his decision.
What do you mean?
What
He was
do
never
you
going to come?
mean? I don't understand that.
That's what I'm saying. He had history with Chelsea. When he
had
left Chelsea,
history
wait
or
now.
issues.
He has history with Chelsea. When he left Chelsea, it was a bit, what did they call him? Where was the word for it?
He was disappointed.
Like that kind, they released me. He's not Eze that says I want to come back and do.
Pogba had the same thing with
That's why I
United
said
as well.
maybe if they offered him some money that turns his head, that happened. But you see, the money thing can no longer work. The reason we used to be able to sign those players back in the day was because Abramovich would go in and pay whatever it took
But we're not
to
talking
get
about
the
those
players
guys.
in.
We're not talking about those guys now. Just talking about
I'll give you
regular-
an example
regular
of my
players, regular
I'll give you an example of my game. The second one you mentioned is what? Semenyo. Shebi, it was reported we went in for Semenyo. Like I said on that same episode as well, if Man City wanted Semenyo now and we want Semenyo, who's going to go to?
He will go to Man
Do you understand? So for you to be able to get him, you then have to pay huge amount of
better,
money that
yeah.
Chelsea are not going to be able to pay now anymore.
But you still spend 100 million on two
understand,
kids.
I agree that you need to sign more experienced players. My issue is simple. I've been talking about experienced player for a while. My issue has been, irrespective of who you sign, for the effect of what you said about, even those United kids have men around them, for that effect to be there, those men are their club men.
Yeah.
That's why that effect works.
Most of them were not bought.
Even if you buy them, they become club men. It's like Bruno now. You bought Bruno. Bruno is a United boy. He's a club guy.
Yeah, I agree.
If you bring in a player now, before anything, if the player is having a difficult time, Bruno is the guy that should be able to call the guy and say, this is what you do, this is what you do, follow my lead, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. Now, if we then go back to even from the beginning, what happened at Chelsea, the way the ownership change happened, right? There were lots of player exits that nobody could have controlled. Rudiger, for example, is one of them. Such high profile, nobody could have controlled. The club couldn't hold on to him, right? So the moment Rudiger was the first,
I think they had missed the window.
No.
They had missed the window.
There was already sanctions flying. Before sanctions started flying, it was Abramovich that was in charge. Remember, before sanctions started flying, there was conversation of New Deal. But of course, you don't know that sanction is going to come. And then sanctions came. And then Rudiger was like, I can't wait for this to be sorted out when Real Madrid is on the table.
Yeah.
I'll go to Real Madrid. And that's ultimately how he left. Now, between the time Rudiger left and a year after that, it was like 40-something, 50-something players that left Chelsea across board.
Whoa.
Across board.
So are you defending their strategy?
No. I'm saying the reason why you then go and buy a lot of players is because a lot of players had to leave. Some of which you couldn't control. Part of the problem also was when the new ownership came, why would you let Peter Cech go? Why would you let a couple other people go? From where I stood. But Peter Cech himself came out. Peter Cech himself came out and said they want me to stay. I thought it was a new ownership. I handed in resignation. I said I didn't want to stay.
Okay, let's look at last summer.
We've documented the mistakes they've made in terms of when you come in, hire, you've made some few wrong signings, However, these kids, who are the kids in the team now? These boys are 24, 25.
Your two left wingers,
24.
Estaval, you're bringing back all this.
Came last summer. Brother,
all these
Estaval
guys.
came last summer. I'm saying the entire team, there are one or two kids, right?
No,
these boys, the core of the team are 24, 25, 24, 25.
The fact.
Liam Delap is what, 21, 22?
The fact is that Chelsea is the youngest team in the Premier League.
They are,
right.
But the core of the team is 24, 25. So it's not like it's a team of 8
in the Premier League.
No, they are. Understand what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying? That's down to injuries. We know that.
No, but I'm saying those are your signing. You sign Garnacho, you sign Gittins, you sign Hato, you sign Delap.
So
what are we saying? Now you have Estaval as your
right winger.
Would you sign Hato?
Possibly as a backup.
Okay.
Possibly as a backup.
How does
because there was nobody that was
backing
backing
him.
him.
It's still like that is still someone that you sign.
So, but if you have, I see, you don't understand what I'm saying, though. I think you need to sign experienced players. In my opinion, though, with what this game is now, I think you're better off signing players who are young and then grow. That's how you create club men. That's my opinion. Because today, I think
that is the strategy that is failing.
Because
Okay,
today, no. When you say it's failing, that's another thing. Let me quickly say this.
Hold on. Before
when you say failing, this is what, third or fourth year of the new ownership. Are we saying they should be competing for the league now? Because I need to understand what failing means so that we know and put in perspective.
Yeah, obviously.
Are we saying they should be competing for the league now?
Let me tell you what's failing. Let me tell you what's failing. Right.
Now, if the new ownership are very transparent.
He asked me a question. Let me answer.
Okay.
Right. You're always gonna failure and success is always gonna be directly tied to investment
And objectives.
you get.
And objectives.
Investment in turn, determines objectives, right?
Okay.
If
So
Chelsea,
objectives determine investments.
cat before the horse, chicken, egg, if Chelsea have, as the facts have it, spent more money, right? £2 billion reported, right? And don't have the basics of when you look at a team and say, that is a good goalkeeper, that is a good striker.
I agree.
That's a number one midfielder, you understand? That's a good goal, that's a good left winger that can score you 12 goals a season, right? Then the strategy is scattergun.
So
Right.
it's a valid argument, but I have a response for you. You've not answered my question, though. You've not answered my question.
What's the question again?
So what's failing? Because I need to know what's failing.
What's failing?
Maybe competing for the league now.
I was getting there. When you invest £2 billion, right, in 4 years, what's Arteta being dragged for? How much is his best announcement?
1 billion.
1 billion in 7 years, right? 2 billion in 4 years is you have invested more in a shorter period of time,
Let
right?
me quickly help you, though. Let me quickly help you.
No. My help me.
Finish.
Right. When you've done that, right, and you struggle to make simple objectives, right, that is failure. If you don't
Okay, like this team not making Champions League is a failure.
Exactly. That's what I'm asking. If you don't make, that's why I said, what is failing, though?
That's what I'm saying.
First of all, let me tell you.
I didn't say league, I said
First of all, let me
Champions
tell you.
League is
First of all, let me tell you. This team that they have at the start of the season, would you have placed a bet on they're not going to make the top 4?
No, they were favourite to make top 4.
Exactly. They were favorites to make the top 4. So now, different things has happened. And like I've said, I don't think you should have allowed Maresca leave, at least wait to the end of the season. Injuries, I think the team is tired. They played the most games in this season of any club because they didn't have preseason. They played Club World Cup. They played the most games of any club, right? But surprisingly, when they talk about Chelsea, nobody talks about they're tired. I hear they talk about it with other clubs. They play the most games. So at the start of the season, nobody could have
get outrun by all teams. Like there's
like
no
I
one
said,
game.
it's not an excuse. The point I am making is that at the start of the season, you couldn't have placed your bets on they're not going to make
making the top 4.
No.
So in terms of aligning your objectives,
I don't agree with that.
terms of if you don't agree with that, then you're not being honest.
I don't agree with that.
Because at the start of the season, wait. I don't allow you now.
Top 4 is pre-established.
I don't allow you.
Liverpool will be there.
I don't.
Arsenal will
No,
be there. So are you favorite to make?
They were seen as coming at least.
Allow now.
Bro,
What I said was.
No.
What I said was.
They didn't make top 4 now.
They didn't make top 4 last benefit.
They didn't. What I said
Chelsea made
was.
top 4. Chelsea made top 4.
What I said was, I'm not even saying they will make it as certain. I said,
Yeah,
would
they
you
were
have
going to
placed
be-
your bet on
Yeah.
they're not going to make it?
They won.
Coming from the league, coming from
They were favourites for 4.
coming from winning your last 6 games of last season, winning the Club World Cup and playing the way you played.
And they finished top 4 last year.
They finished top 4 last year. You could not have placed your bet. So in terms of aligning objectives, in terms of, okay, this team is now growing how we want it to grow, all of that lines up very well. A day or a few days before season start, Colwill gets an ACL. And from then on, it's been back to back. Okay, this one gets injured, that one gets injured. Oh, Maresca leaves. This one. Now, for me,
He spent
all
2 billion.
of that.
He
Is not,
spent
now let me now
2
come.
billion.
Now let
That
me now
should be a
come to the
scratch.
money.
So that money part.
Let me now come to the money. And I've talked about it a lot of times. I think we should. I think honestly we should know better because I'm a Chelsea fan. Maybe I follow a bit, but under the previous ownership, the concept of buying players with the sole purpose of being able to sell for profit is not new under this ownership. Abramovich's ownership was doing it. Stockpile players for the sole purpose of selling.
But he was buying young players for the academy.
Who?
Abramovich.
No, he was buying everybody.
No,
he wasn't just young players.
The point is, he wasn't buying players. He was buying players for the first team to be able to compete their first.
Yes.
Compete and win titles.
Yes.
He was not buying players with the mindset of, this one I'm buying it.
You have not listened to. No, you have not listened. No, you have not heard my. Wait, let me finish what I'm saying. You don't understand me. Relax. You talk too much.
You said that.
God.
Buying players to sell.
Parliamentary proceedings, please.
He said this buying to sell did not start with this new ownership.
Let's finish.
Brother, Abramovich obviously was signing top players. That's go without saying. I don't know why he had to bring it up. It goes without saying. But the point is, where I was going was.
That's what started with this team.
Where I was going was this current ownership.
Right.
If you have followed some of the things that have been released, it's a deliberate business model.
Okay.
We are going to sign players so we can sell for profit. In fact, it is inside filings that was filed to the UK government as one of the source of making money. Why?
You thought we'll go down.
Wait. You think? No.
So the visa Obama like this. So
you think?
No. Relegated.
No. The point I'm trying to make is when you say they spent $2 billion, and the concept of you saying they spent $2 billion, you are speaking to it about you spent $2 billion. You're speaking to it about you spent $2 billion on your first team, and you're not meeting your objective. That's failure. Of course, that's failure. What I'm trying to tell you is that no, they've not spent $2 billion on the first team. Okay. They have spent $2 billion buying players, some of which are not even in the first team. Some of that money is not players are in the first team.
That's why.
Some of that. Wait. I'm talking just about the money.
Yeah.
Some of those players are not even in the first team. Under 21s, under 18s. Some of them are in the first team. Clearly, it's going to get sold. Some of them have been bought and been sold for profit already in the same number of years. So if you say that you have spent $2 billion as a critique of why have you spent this model, it's a business model. Then you have to look at what they've sold as well, because it's a business model.
Yeah, okay.
We're going to sell. We're going to buy so we can sell for profit. It's a business model.
I get that.
It's not $2 billion on the first team.
But you know the idea. So even that idea of like net spend and like the fact is you spent that amount on values of players. So yes, it's not that you guys have spent just $2 billion, because the net is probably like you probably sold about $1 billion worth of players. That kind of like you know what I'm saying. But the value of what you are spending, whether you want to spend to sell, the value of the players that you are spending and the money you have spent on players,
yes,
it doesn't show.
No, you're see. What I want to say, the point is, you are saying if you say the $2 billion as a
it's not just $2 billion.
No.
It's not $2 billion because I understand that you
listen to my point. If you say $2 billion as a critique of why have you spent $2 billion on your first team?
Nobody else. Not that.
That's what I'm responding to.
But
of course, if you have spent $2 billion and I am not meeting your objective, of course it's failure.
But again, it's still about the overall strategy. So you are still spending $2 billion, just some for sales, some for this and that. So you are flipping players again. So is that strategy? Is it working? Because now you have even if you remove the $2 billion, let's say you have spent 1.2 billion on your first team. You have a few injuries and you look like your team looks like a mid-table, bottom of the league kind of team.
So here's what I'm going to say.
Is the strategy working?
The reason you think, okay, wait, do you think that the reason they played 5 games and haven't scored a goal and they've lost 5 games back to back is because of the team? Is because of they don't have enough players?
No,
or they don't have players.
You don't
plugs in.
So like this particular Brighton game, like you lost.
Yes, this strategy.
You lost. That's the
problem. Relegated. I'm not joking,
bro. I'm sorry. You don't know how to have. You don't know how to have logical conversations. You don't know how to have logical conversations.
The point is, you are refusing to see that. This
squad building hasn't been great.
I have not said the model is working. I am telling you that
what they are doing.
I'm explaining that there's a business model of buying players and selling. I have not said that the business model is working. Stop saying what I did not say.
Saying that this model, business-wise, is great. You have explained it. I understand. But on face value, $2 billion. We are going to have football conversation. We're not business people.
How many times have I said, of course, it's failure if you spend $2 billion?
You want to do
no. How many times have I said, of course, if you spend $2 billion, you're making a million? Of course, it's failure. So why are you bringing up? You just don't want to agree because you want to go to that thing.
You've not admitted that this strategy.
And that's why I said again for me, right? I don't think this team that you currently have should not be competing to make top 4. I think this team is good enough to make top 4, top 5.
So
that's why I said at the beginning of the season, could you have placed a bet on they're not going to make it?
I couldn't have because of, so let me
there's a lot of things. So if you say that, this team is not good enough, If you say this team is not good enough,
I think your 11 is good. I think like once you have a few injuries, like I said, if you lose João Pedro, you have a striker that scored
my brother, if Arsenal are saying that Saliba got injured is why we didn't meet our objectives, or Gabriel got injured is why we didn't meet, and then they've gone and brought Mosquera.
Yeah, but at that stage, they hadn't invested that much.
No, till now, if Gabriel get injured now and they don't win the league, senior man will come and tell us that's the reason they didn't win the league.
So let me come in here and this is my thought on the 2 billion thing, right? Chelsea Football Club, FC.
I thought we were going to talk about Rosenior.
Chelsea FC, right? Chelsea FC. The first team, right, is the engine that drives the entire operation. The female team, the franchise in America, the whatever it is, they are the poster of the club. Whatever strategy you employ, right, whether it is to keep the organization afloat in Asia, right, the first team, right, is the clearest indicator of a failing,
of course,
or a succeeding strategy,
of course.
Yeah, because without that asset,
of
right,
course,
you cannot, you cannot make any sense of, with all due respect to the female team, to all due respect to the 21 team, whatever they win, it is not as consequential as Chelsea winning one FA Cup.
It is not consequential.
You get so to that effect, right? When people say you have spent 2 billion, right? If we break it down and say, you know what? Yes, as learned people, right? We understand where some monies have gone. We understand that maybe in value, 800 million who have not even seen touch a football. With all due respect, we don't fucking care because the assets.
So is that what we're doing there?
No. Because the assets, right? The aim of this 2 billion spend is to make sure that this asset, right, stays at the premium. So if that asset is ultimately failing, then you best believe we're going to question the 2 billion
are right.
strategy.
The only part that's wrong is the 2 billion is to make sure that the business of the club remains. And you see, when you make a purchase,
the business of the club is to make sure the first team.
My brother, when you make a purchase, when you make a purchase under the circumstance, when you make a purchase under the circumstance that the Chelsea ownership change happened, you're going to do it with loans.
Yeah.
Nobody carries their money to go and make that purchase. You're going to do it with loan, even if you have the money in the bank. Nobody goes and pulls their 4-point-something billion pounds and say, take and buy Chelsea Football Club. No.
That will
you're
not
going to do it with loan. No, I'm just saying it's a business, simple business. Nobody goes there and you're going to do it with credit.
Okay, so the question now, is strategy working for you?
So for what?
See,
do you think it's...
My brother.
Okay, now he's struggling, but like, are you happy with the strategy?
For me, because I didn't expect us to be winning the league after 2-3 seasons. Last season, we made top 4. That's success. As far as I'm concerned, in 2 or how many? 2.5. Winning the Club World Cup, that's success in 2.5. Now, this season, you have to make top 4 again. If you don't make top 4, you don't make Champions League. That's failure.
But the issue with the strategy is that after last year, that was when it was time to kick on. And then for me, you almost weaken the squad because when you're getting again like guys like Garnacho,
he knows I never wanted. He knows.
So that for me
campaign. I did a full campaign against signing Garnacho. I did a full campaign. I did not even know who he was like that.
You guys even remember like in January, Chelsea
he's injured.
Remember in January, Chelsea needed a defender. They now went to call back this Sarr from Strasbourg.
Bro,
the guy has barely smelled pitch. It's like the whole
thing. My brother, if you have to understand that this guy was injured. He's sporting. He's an attacker now. My brother.
Yeah, okay, I saw him.
This guy was injured. What's his name? Badashi was injured, right? And like I said on the virtual episode, Chelsea have done the exact same thing Arsenal did. With centre backs, but it hasn't worked out. So you have to discard them and go again, right? But before you discard them, Badashi was injured. By the time Kowi got injured, right? Of course, Badashi is supposed to be the backup, but he was also injured. So if you go into the market and buy another established centre back, what happens to Badashi and Kowi when you have not been able to offload them? So it's not as straightforward as Kowi has gotten injured, so go and bring Senesi. Okay, no problem.
Can do that.
Exactly. Not everybody can afford to do it. Maybe Man City can do it. I don't know.
Sorry, if you spend 2 billion,
I have to also understand this 2 billion that you talked about. A lot of it has been on transfer fees, not wages. Wages is the reason your books gets bloated. It's been transfer fees, not wages.
You might have to do You get. I see the depth of knowledge on that, but that is a business insider conversation, right?
But that's why I'm giving.
get.
But that's why I'm sharing. That's why I'm explaining it to
That is
you
a
now.
business conversation, right?
That's why I'm explaining it to you. Because if you make a
people,
if you make a criticism, I have agreed with you that football on the field, football on the field
has to be better.
Is the what's it called? Is the
like the main
is the main thing that you show for are you succeeding or are you failing?
Yeah.
But like I've told you, like I've
is pronounced epitome.
But like
Epitome.
It's epitome.
It's epitome.
Like I've told you.
Nonsense.
Like I've told
you don't
you.
know what to pronounce it.
I think they've made the wrong decision with Maresca leaving. But then again, if the guy says I want to leave, you let him leave.
But you don't go and bring
You're gonna hold
Rosenior.
him. Chebi, when they sign him, what did I say?
You don't go and bring Rosenior.
Chebi, when they sign him, what did I say?
You wait till the season finishes, right? And you go and you butt head with the biggest clubs, right? And find the best manager in class. Chelsea is a best in class club.
They are ultimately
now
they will do the
you
same
don't
thing
go
in the
you don't
summer.
go and bring Rosenior. And I have nothing against the guy. You get. I mean, look. I think he says some silly things. We shouldn't say. Man.
In hindsight,
in
hindsight,
respect the ball. What does that
Let
mean?
me tell you.
But he's not the best in class. I'm sorry.
Of course, he's not the best in class.
They're at least. You see.
My brother.
But the best in class don't want to go and work there.
My brother.
No. When you are wooing the best in class, right?
You have to change your strategy.
You go and
Who are the best in class now? Who are the best in class now?
Luis Enrique, right?
Exactly. Me, I don't want Luis Enrique at my club. You can take him.
Right?
Unai Emery.
Your young clubs, your
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. He's a fantastic manager.
I will take him in a heartbeat.
He's a fantastic manager. My problem, I have it. Let me tell you
I
guys.
think you take him in heartbeats.
No, let me tell you guys something. When Rosenior did that PSG game, what my criticism? I said I've been a Chelsea fan for long. When I see something fundamental, I dey quick see am. I saw it in the PSG game. Enrique, what's his name? Unai Emery. Yeah. The beginning and the end of Unai Emery is that Unai Emery will play the way he wants to play, however, whichever players they are available to him, and whichever team he's playing against.
By the way,
and that's the same thing Rosenior went and did against PSG.
As we talk, say you're too childish. Content.
You post that.
Of course not.
Look at this guy.
Christ.
Where have you been?
He said, Jesus Christ, where have you been? Let's go.
This Wole. Don't die miserably.
Where you be as senior man come out? Me and Stan come they talk. Wole say, please, we need to rap. When if we don't say so that they talk, I have my episode already.
See, this one was born a riffraff, but saved by grace.
I mean, let's start that
He
way.
wants to be on he want his level is Insta blog.
As I do my episode finish like this, I go check Riverside. I see uploading. I say, I think I stopped the upload. You get. I see, well, you don't download already. I say, oh my God.
Yes, now. Is it that last episode? Wole don't do. I don't know. Say Wole go call, when he don't tell you. Be say. So when you will go post before the game. I don't know. Say he go post that he will take something for Arsenal to go to the Emirates. I don't log out on my IG the day before. The idiot is sending me collaboration tag. After the game, when I log back in, I saw the collaboration tag. I said, don't worry, I don't need them again. He said, accept now. Accept what?
What move up?
Let's start that back. God save you so you don't marry early. Because if you're no fine wife.
That's it.
This is your behavior way they do. All right, let's do it.
Collect loan in the bank.
The ownership should be getting more of
$1 million
the
in the
blame.
bank.
Me, I don't have.
I think owners like United owners went to go and get a manager that plays there at the back that they don't have the squad for.